Hey, yo, Chris, where you at? I'm in town.
What's good, y'all? We are now back with the Solo Dolo Podcast. Today we got the homie GRE.
What's good, Chris?
What's
How you
happening,
doing?
man? I'm good, man.
I'm good.
Glad to have you here today.
Yes, sir.
What brings you by? Let's
Man, I missed
there.
you.
Bro, I missed
What
you
you
too,
mean?
bro.
In a minute.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of guys don't do, man. It's okay to tell your brothers that you miss them, bro. Like, stop
Facts.
trying to be so hard all the time, bro. For all y'all out there, even some of my homies, like, bro, I miss you. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to say that. You ain't got to act all hard and like, bro, I know you're a working man, bro. I know we all out here doing hard work, bro. It's okay to tell your brother that you miss him, you love him. Like, that's just a little gem out there for
Facts.
the guys.
I need that random drop-in call every 2 months
Yeah.
that I don't expect.
Facts.
Like,
Facts. This is facts.
yeah.
What you been up to, man?
Man, I've been working. I mean, we just entered the new year, so
Facts. Shout
you
out.
know.
24 is looking crazy.
yeah, nah, it's gonna be the best year ever because it's
Mm.
gotta be. And there's no
Mhm.
other option. So, just how I do every year. The idea is just growth. I want to
Yes.
be better at the end of 2024 than I am right now
That's
in
dope.
all aspects.
That's dope.
So,
I'm usually not. I don't know. I feel like some years I have been like a New Year's resolution type person,
mhm.
and then other years I'm like already in a groove.
How about this one?
Yeah.
This year.
This
Where are you
year,
in? Yeah.
I think I'm kind of like, I had some things that I already kind of got into a groove with in 2023 towards the tail end that I'm just like, all right, these are going to bring me these results for this year. And so if I just continue to do what I do now and just stay consistent and even just build upon that, I think I'm going to see all the fruits of my labor that I want to see. So,
For sure.
yeah. But I know some people are like, oh, New Year's resolution, New Year, new me. And it's like, I don't like to give myself time to make excuses to then make a change. Like,
Yeah.
I want to change now.
No, for
you
sure.
know? So,
I don't like the new me. It's more like
yeah.
the progression of me.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
what this year is,
Yep.
you know?
That's
Yeah.
dope, man. Where are you right now creatively? Like, what's the space you've
Like
been in?
today?
Yeah,
Like
today, in this time right now, in this, if you can think of life in like phases right now, what era are you in right now?
I've been working on an album in general creatively. So that's
Mhm.
how my mind always kind of works when it comes to music. I'm like album oriented.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely in a little bit of a block. Like,
Mm.
not like anything crazy because I've been in multiple blocks before and
Right.
I'm still creating. Like, don't
Right.
get it twisted. Like, this
Mhm.
weekend, I made a really sick remix to a Lil Yachty song, Mo
Mm.
Jams, that I want to post like this
Yeah,
weekend.
yeah.
And like, I've made songs here and there, but I'm definitely in a spot where I'm like struggling to like fully create a song or like get the
Mm.
idea down. Or
I feel
I'm
that.
being kind of hard on myself. And
Yeah.
something that you've been doing a lot recently, which I appreciate your Instagram stories.
Mm.
You've been posting a lot like create freely type of messages.
Yes.
Which is like
I was
always
hoping
a
somebody
very
was
good
picking up.
reminder for me.
Mhm.
Because I do operate in that mindset of creating freely,
Mhm.
but I also have to be self-aware of it as well. Because
Yeah.
I dropped a lot of music last year in 2023.
Mhm.
I dropped 2 albums, and
Talk
for me,
about it.
they're
Mhm.
like my best 2 projects. Like, I love them, and I made a lot of good music. And it's like I find myself in a space right now because I always feel like I gotta top my previous work, which is true.
Mhm.
But that doesn't, I'll start writing 4 bars, and I'm like, nah, this isn't.
Yeah,
hitting.
yeah. It
Or, like,
it,
you
it
know?
can stifle the process. Like,
Right.
it can stifle the process of you then being in it for the art itself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely a balance thing. Like, you do want to have there's a time and place for everything. I feel like there's a time and place to care very deeply and be very critical about what you're doing. And then there's also a time and place to equally not care so much and just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do this.
I feel like what I've learned is like the part where you're supposed to be critical about it is once it's done.
Yes.
And
Yes.
sometimes it's hard for me to get there.
Yep.
Like, I'll be critical in the process
Mm-hmm.
when you shouldn't, because you're in the process. You don't know where
Mhm.
it's going to end.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I try to treat a lot of recordings like that too. Like,
mhm.
I might start recording something and I'm like, your mind is already trying to wrap itself around the end product.
Yeah.
And it's like, just see where it goes, finish it,
Yeah.
and then sit with it.
I'm getting that right now.
Yeah.
A little bit, for sure.
I know this is like your first time on a podcast. I
Yeah.
feel like this may not be the first time you've been introduced to my people and vice versa.
Mhm.
But if you could tell the people, give us like a short story of who GRE is, where he came from, and how he got to where he is now.
Yeah, for sure. So, I grew up in South Florida. That's where I was born. I come from a fully Colombian household. My parents are Colombian. My sister, a big family. My mom has 9 siblings. So
That's
that
a big
causes hella aunts, hella cousins. 90% of them are out in Colombia. So, growing up, I would always, travel in the holidays, like Christmas time, summertime. I'd be in Colombia a lot, and then in South Florida as well. I grew up, my sport that I would play and compete a lot from the age of like 9 to 18. I played tennis.
Oh,
and
wow.
that was like my life. Like,
Wow.
I was one of those kids that left school early to like do their sport, and like on their weekends would travel everywhere to compete and
That's
shit.
crazy.
You know what I mean? And like the goal was college tennis,
Mm-hmm.
which I was at the level to do, but once I started becoming like 17, 18, one, you have burnout, and 2, you have new passions in life. And for me, one of them was creating music. Like, I started making music when I was 16, about like junior year of high school, around there.
Dang, I didn't know you was creating that long.
It wasn't good. I just started. There's a difference.
Nah, I feel that, but it's still like it takes a lot of courage and a lot of heart to pursue something like music, to pursue any art and any form of creativity that's like original to you, at least. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm always curious as to when people started that journey, and just the need and desire to even want to express yourself in that advanced of a way. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And that need and want to express myself really came from, I've always loved music, like from a listening perspective. And I think when I was around 15, 16, I was really starting to discover a lot of artists that I love now, like the way they express themselves on songs and the way they would make me feel and how that would translate. I was like, man, that is powerful. Like that is something I want to do.
Right.
So someone like, this is one of my favorite albums ever, just for the time and place of where I was at, like Isaiah Rashad, The Sun's Tirade. In 2016. That was one of the albums that really made me be like, man, I want to make music.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
I feel that.
So.
How old are you now?
23.
23.
Yeah.
Dang. 23.
Yeah, I'm young. Yeah.
When's your birthday?
May 4th. Star Wars Day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When I would like to say what are some insights that you've gotten so far from age 23, like just about yourself?
That's a good question, man. 23 taught me a lot about life in general, not even necessarily about myself, but about others and how I handle my relationships with other people. And I feel like one thing that age 23 has definitely taught me is like, definitely live in the moment. Don't necessarily think too far ahead in certain things, because that shit can crush you.
Ooh, that's real.
So like,
that's real.
Enjoy the moment, because you can't have the moment back, and it's just like enjoy the entire process. So I think that's something I've taken away from 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people may not know, but me and GRE went to college together.
Yeah.
French. I'm trying to figure
French 101.
Yeah, French 101. I'm trying to figure out what year was that for me.
Sophomore for me.
Sophomore for you. That's
so
right.
You might have been a senior.
I think I was.
Because
I did an extra year, so I might have technically been a senior. I think it was my 4th year.
Were you 2016? Like, when did you start? I started 2018. Or you don't know?
Started school 2018?
Yeah, Emory.
Okay, I started 2015.
Oh, then you must
So,
have
yeah.
been like 4th or 5th.
Yeah, 2015, 16. Yeah, it was my 4th year. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's interesting because I didn't know you, even meeting you back then and learning about you doing music.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had been doing it for that long.
Nah, at that point when you had seen me, I had only been releasing probably for like a year. I released my first song and album my 2nd semester freshman year. So I had only been releasing for like maybe a year. Not even.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because it took a while for me to get to a point where I was like, okay, I think this is good enough to release. And I would show my music to like 3 or 4 close like high school friends. And they were also like in agreement. It's like, yeah, I think it's time. Yeah. Looking back, I'm like, I could have waited. But you know what? It's whatever.
Got you. Another thing too.
Yeah.
So the basis of the Solo Dolo podcast is really like, how do you think when you're by yourself? Like, what's your thought process like? What's your inner voice like?
Okay.
I want to know, how has your inner voice been to you as you've navigated early adulthood?
That's a good question.
Like, is it a supportive voice? Is it like a lot of doubt, or a mix of both?
I think I'm happy to say, like, I definitely have a lot of self-love and appreciation for myself. And I also definitely spend more time alone than most people in general. I live alone. That's number one.
Yeah.
I work from home. Like,
yeah, dang.
I don't see people, bro.
Dang.
Like, I just don't. Like, I'll see people on the weekend. Like, I got lunch with someone this weekend. I got dinner with somebody else. You know, sometimes there'll be an event or something like that. Like, the people I see, honestly, are like random people, like at the gym, like the people who work at the grocery store. Like, that's like the people, crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have that much like daily interaction in general.
Do you think that has been something you've benefited from, or has been more of a challenge?
It hasn't been a challenge because I'm very comfortable with myself.
That's dope.
Again, so I don't have an issue with being with myself. Is it something that's been a benefit to me? I'm not completely sure, because it definitely keeps me in a comfort zone. You know what I mean? Like,
that's real.
So,
dang, see,
I have to push myself to go outside and see people more. You know what I mean?
Think now, because for me, I'm very much so. I see a lot of people. I know a lot of people, and like, I have moments where I'll go out and I'm here, I'm there, I'm at this person's event or whatever. But I really value my alone time, like, a lot.
Yeah.
And when you put it like that, I'm starting to question whether me cherishing and basking in my own alone time is too much of a comfort zone. Because for me, I at least feel creatively, I feel like that's where I elevate the most. So I don't. How is your process like? Do you feel like you elevate just in a personal, whether it's, you know, spiritual, or even just like as far as your music, creative, do you feel like you elevate more alone or when you interact with people?
I think I like both processes. I have more fun when I'm with people. That's for sure. Like, I know we recorded a song over here that isn't out with Zell. That was a lot of fun. We were streaming it over there.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like, there was an energy to it. Like, I was kind of in a moment right there. I was like, let's go. Like, that was fun. And when you're with other people, you can like spread the energy or bounce off ideas or bounce off that feeling, you know, and go into places that you wouldn't go by yourself. Like, you just wouldn't.
That's real.
So that's why I always try to work with people. Like, I love that process, you know, like, but I haven't done it that much. I have an album called For the Cage Birds, which is entirely produced by my friend Rafi. And that we did together, like, from scratch, like beat making, mixing, the whole process. And I was sitting there, like, I was in it, you know, and that was fun. But in general, my process is like writing by myself, like at the crib. Like, that's the process.
Let me see. How do I want to pose this question? Where do you think music will take you?
That's a good question. I've never thought about that. And I think it's because I'm not trying to have it take me anywhere. For me, music is something that I love to do with my free time, and it gives me immense joy and happiness. Like when I make a song that I really like, I play it to death. And I get really happy and I get excited. I'm like, I want people to hear this. Like I want to release this into the ether. Like I got this song right now. I haven't played it for you. It's called Rose Gold. It is so good, and I've played it. Like I probably made that song like 2 months ago, and I think I've played it every day in the past 2 months. Easy, you know what I mean? It's one of them ones.
Yeah, no, that's a dope thing.
That's where music takes me. It takes me into that place of just loving myself again. That same self-appreciation. That's my self-care. Making music is definitely my self-care, for sure.
No, that's deep. That is a true gift to be able to. I think I explained it to my girl a while back. I forget what song it was that I made, but she was here, and she was like, "I just love seeing you so happy." Like, and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know. It's like me making songs is like, it's like my own fuel tank for happiness. Like I can just give it to myself all day, anytime. Like it's always there. So, it's truly a blessing to be able to communicate musically.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah.
For sure.
That's dope, man. I think this is another thing I'm interested in.
Okay.
Talk about being an uncle.
Oh my God, it's the best.
It's the best. It's crazy.
I just spent the Christmas holidays with my nephew Luca. He's 3 in a couple months right now.
Dang, that's crazy. I remember he was like mad little.
Oh man, nah, he's like fully like he's talking. He's reading. I don't even get it. Like it makes no damn sense. Like he be talking and I get like 50% of what he says, but you put a book in front of him and he puts his finger and he starts going. And I'm
crazy.
Like, nobody's taught you this. Like how does this even work? Like
that's
and he's such a good kid. He's been like an amazing kid his whole life. He's starting to enter a little bratty phase though.
Oh, really?
It's like his first phase that isn't like super great kid. Like you know what I mean? Like he's awesome, obviously, but he knows like complaining can get him things. Like
that's crazy.
I don't fuck with these pajamas. I want those pajamas.
Yeah.
Like,
when kids start to understand emotional intelligence, even a little bit, it gets scary. It's like my little niece, Milan, she's 7 now, and she kind of knows what buttons to press for her mom, and like I can see it, and it's like, okay, you gotta like watch her because she's doing this on purpose. It's crazy.
They're smart. They know what they're doing,
bro. I always think about it. These kids grew up with iPads at like 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like I had toys that had no screens. I had like building blocks when I was younger. So my niece, and I have another nephew too. He's around the same age as her. They had iPads at like 2 years old. So I'm like, where is their mind and their attention to detail, given that they had iPads and knew how to work them at a young age? Like I don't know if that's gonna be a good thing or not.
It's interesting,
but it's interesting. Yeah,
I know Luca from ages of, I don't know, 6 months to a year, whenever you can start using the tablet, to like just recently was like a iPad tablet like drug addict. Like you take it away from him and it's
crazy.
Like, the trembles. It's like what's going on, and like the screams, the cries. You give it, it's like, all right, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
But just recently now, because my sister moved out to Colombia actually, and that's where he started pre-K. And she said since he started pre-K over there, and just like the lifestyle out there, he actually is like not hooked to the iPad much no more in the tablet. Dope. And it's I was with him over break, like he's like not fiending it, so that's pretty sweet.
Well, gotta send my niece to Colombia.
Exactly. Send her alone, she'll figure it out.
But nah, man, that's dope. How has life been post college? Like how has it been? Has it been what you thought it would be? Is it better? Is it worse? Or is it still exciting?
It's been more or less what I expected. I mean, I left college knowing I was going into the corporate world. I would say my job has been less time consuming than I've expected, which is a good thing for me, especially as someone who loves making music and making art. Like, I've had the time to do it. That was like a big worry for me, like leaving college, because college you can do what you have so much time to do stuff, to be honest. But I was worried like the working world is gonna not kill making music, but make it difficult. And I released 2 albums last year.
That's dope.
So like, you know, I'm able to still find time. You know what I mean?
That's dope, man.
So.
Yeah, I think it's definitely important, especially when people work in corporate. You know, like knowing how to balance that lifestyle of existing in the corporate space, but also being your most authentic self as well. Like holding on to that, because I feel like the corporate world can sort of make you feel like you have to fixate yourself or be a certain way to get to certain places, into certain rooms. How do you maintain your authenticity while having to live in that for the most part, even though you're still like at home right now, so it's a little different.
No, for sure. I just make sure to focus on like my job does not represent me. Like, it's not my personality. My title of whatever I am, that is not me. I am who I am through my actions and what I do for people, my relationships, things like that. Like, my job is my job. It's what sustains me.
Right.
You feel me? I feel like a lot of people enter the corporate world for like prestige or whatever, for certain jobs, you know what I mean? Like that chase for that title to prove to people something. And it's like, I don't have shit to prove, like, to be honest, except to myself, of course, because I want to be somebody. I want to be the best possible version of me. But how the people perceive me, I can't control that. It's like, it is what it is.
That's real. I like that. I think that's dope to share that with people. Let's see, man. I had some other questions I wanted to ask you. Are there any places you want to go?
Japan. December of this year is like, I was over break. I was in Florida talking to my friend Jonathan, who went to Japan like a year ago. He's Vietnamese. He was able to move, know what he was doing out there. Like, and he's like, I need to go back. And I was like, take me, bro. Take me. Like, so he's in law school. So December is like the break after exams or whatever. So hopefully we can schedule time to go in Japan there. That's like the main travel goal of this year, I think.
I've been wanting to go snowboarding.
Okay.
I know that Japan has some of the craziest places.
I didn't know that.
I know. It's one of those like low key.
Okay.
Yeah, they got some crazy stuff over there. Like, so that's something I do want to do.
Yeah.
That's dope. What's some of your other like goals and aspirations for this year?
So I have fitness goals, number one. So I started last week going to this gym called F45. It's like,
I feel like I heard of that gym actually.
Yeah. It's like a class. So it's similar to like, I don't know, there's like Orange Theory, Berries, CrossFit, all of these, but they all got their own ways of doing things. What I like about this one at 45 is like every day they have a different training regime and they separate it out. So like Monday and Wednesdays are cardio, Tuesday and Thursdays are resistance training. The other days are like a blend, whatever. So I'm trying to do 10 classes a month. And not trying, I will be doing 10 classes a month. But yeah, so that should hopefully help me put on weight because I'm trying to gain weight, get bigger, you know what I mean, and feel good about myself. I'm trying to, another goal of 2024 is just to like go outside more, be more social. You know, like go on more dates, like just be like, put myself out there for real. Like that is something I need to do in 2024. Make myself a bit more uncomfortable. Like,
wow, that's a big one.
That's
a big one.
And that's mainly it. And then like hopefully dropping music this year. Like I'm not gonna, that is like, if it happens, it happens. I'm not trying to rush like a deadline, you know. I'm only dropping when it's right, clicking that red button
Yep.
when it's ready.
Yep.
You feel me?
It's ready.
Like, but hopefully that's this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. How has your spiritual journey been since college up to now? And I asked for that time frame because I feel like that's the time you get to explore yourself and kind of be on your own to figure out who you are.
For sure. I think my spiritual journey started in college, for sure. I'll say when I first came to Emory, like the first thing that hit me, and they like promoted a lot, is like the diversity in the school. Like everybody from every culture, religion, whatever, is at Emory. So you get to socialize with a wide variety of different people with unique perspectives from different backgrounds. And I think one thing that I learned is like you can't base anything off someone just off a simple interaction. Like they have a lifetime of experiences behind them that shape them into the person they are today, and you don't understand that.
You don't understand it.
You don't understand this. So like that helped me on my spiritual journey, I guess, of just being more empathetic and understanding towards everyone. I try to live by being like non-judgmental to anyone. Like that is something that I learned in college. Like I can't say before college that I was extremely empathetic or non-judgmental because I wasn't. Like I wasn't. So that was definitely something, like, you know, something that started in college, and I continue today, just trying to be a better person, a kinder person. Like those are things I focus on for sure. For me, that I don't know if that's like a spiritual journey per se.
I feel like it is. I mean, I think it definitely does. It ties into, at least for me, spirituality is like just becoming more aware of yourself, and like if you believe in a higher power, your relation to that and everything else around you. So I think it works because you're still understanding your relation to other people and how we're all connected. You know what I'm saying? We all, but at the same time, we all have our different experiences. Yeah, we made it to some of the same places and, you know, things of that nature. So
so just keep growing with the spiritual journey. You know what I mean? Learning more about myself. As far as like a relationship to a higher power, I don't know if I've like fully developed that. And it's real interesting because like in my music a lot, like I'll mention like God and things like that, but I'm not a very religious person by nature. I definitely have faith in the future, but I don't think that's like necessarily tied to a higher power. It's just tied towards like some sort of belief. Right. And I haven't really discovered where that comes from, what that stems from. Maybe it's like belief within, belief in others. Like,
definitely. I think even that is like okay. I think sometimes with religion, because I'm not very religious myself, but I do believe in God and like just the idea that there is more to our existence than what just meets the eye, you know, like the energy, when people talk about energy and everything like that, like all of the things that are happening in the universe and our solar system, like even just here on planet Earth, like I do believe there is a higher energy, or let's say a higher intellect of what's actually going on. It's not just a bunch of random stuff. A lot of things were orchestrated. A lot of stuff had to happen for me and you to even be talking to each other, you know what I'm saying? So
that's true.
But yeah, that's a conversation for another day. Because that one goes like it can go all the way there.
No, for sure.
But I definitely think it's dope for people to observe that and try to understand what it is for them, and whatever resonates with you. I think that's what you should stick by, and that's where your faith is going to have its biggest impact. So let me ask you this: what are you most proud of as of right now?
That's a good question. I don't know if I necessarily have an answer to that. I'm very proud of all the work that I put in towards myself, and like how I'm constantly with a positive mindset. Like I'm very proud of the person I am today, and like very proud of the relationships that I have with my friends and my family. And, you know, just because there's a lot of like crazy shit going on in the world in general that can like demotivate you, can really bring you down, and you can get caught in an endless downward spiral of looking at things negatively.
Yep.
And I'm very proud that I am able to look forward in a positive way and try to benefit myself and, you know, the people around me and try to grow. Like, I'm proud that I am sticking to that mindset.
That's dope.
I guess.
That's real.
Yeah.
If you could remember, at what age did you first discover, how can I say this? At what age did you start to look forward to a better future for yourself? Like, consciously? Like, at what age did you say, you know what, when I grow up, I actually want to be X, Y, and Z, or I just want to be better. I want to be successful. Like, if you could think of that age, go back to those first moments where you first started thinking of that, and would that version of yourself, what would they think of you today? Like, how would they feel about where you are right now?
You know, that's a really good question, because I don't think it was that long ago when with the way that you phrased it. Because I think a lot of your life before you hit the working world is kind of just like the way it goes. Like, high school kind of goes into college. College kind of goes into finding your first job. And then once you hit your first job, which is where I'm at now, it's like the world is kind of your oyster.
Yeah, now you
like
can
you gotta
just figure
it out, you know. So I would say, like, even in college or previously, it's like I'm just going with the flow, going with the motions, with what's next. Not necessarily. I always strive for the best for myself, you know. Like, I strove to try to get into the best school that I could get to. I strove to try to get the best job that I could get. But now, like, that I'm in the corporate world, and there's like pros and cons to the corporate world, you know what I mean? But I don't necessarily see it as something that I would thrive in long term, like climbing the corporate ladder. Like, miss me with that.
Yeah.
You feel me? So now it's like,
here.
what do I really want to do with myself? And it's like, I'm starting to get to a point, I just want to do something that makes a positive impact to people in the world. And I'm still trying to figure out how to do that and where that goes. But I feel like, honestly, in the past year or 2 years, that's where my mindset has really changed. Yeah.
That's good, man. That's a good insight. Let's see. When you have days where you feel, some days I feel like we have, it's not even necessarily like bad things happening, but days where you just feel down. You don't even know why.
Yeah.
It's just like your mood is just down. What is your go-to mood booster?
Music.
Every time. Yeah.
Easy. And I hate that I'm mentioning this. Like, it's the second we haven't talked about that much music as far as artists, but I mentioned Isaiah Rashad, The Sun's Tirade. I was a little bit in a rut, like, on Saturday. And I was just driving, and I just put that album on, and it's over.
Wow.
It's like instantly, like, I just kind of get taken somewhere else and start, you know, just feeling different, feeling better. It can really help you, take you out of like a negative mind space for sure.
That's dope.
So for me, the go-to is music when I'm in a rut. It won't immediately enhance your mood per se, but you know, one thing that I've learned too is like physical activity definitely helps as well.
I just played basketball yesterday.
Yeah.
I was at Emory.
Like, sometimes, like, if you don't do anything for like 10 days, maybe that's why you're in the rut, because you haven't done anything for 10 days.
That's so crazy. Yeah, you got to get the body moving. Your mind will start moving too, right along with it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything that you want other creative people out there to know, or even people who are in the same era of life that you're in? Like, what's a message that you'd have for them?
Be yourself. Like, there's only one you. Like, that is the message. Like, in everything you do, if you're creating music, 100% be yourself. Like, why would you be anyone other than yourself. Like, you're the only person that can be you, so do you. Like, so that is definitely a message to all creatives. Like, don't follow a trend per se because you see something popping off. Like, so you try to do what they're doing. Like, for what? What's the purpose of that? Like, find purpose in all the things that you're doing, you know, and just be true and authentic, and hopefully people will gravitate, you know. Like, that would be my message to anyone who's creating out there. Yeah.
Gotcha. What's your favorite GRE song that's out now?
That's out? I don't know. I'm gonna list a couple. A couple.
You could do like a top 5 if that's cool.
Ooh, let's do a top 5.
Okay.
Hey, if you never heard my music, here's a top 5. I have a song called "It's You," featuring Aisling.
I wonder how she's doing. I haven't seen.
She posted a picture recently. She was like, I think she just graduated Georgia Tech.
That's
like,
right.
So, yeah,
that's right. I saw that. Yeah,
doing.
that is. Yeah.
So yeah, dope. "It's You" featuring Aisling. I have a song called "Late Nights" off of Nothing Left to Say.
I like that one.
You got a shout out in that song, so you better like it.
I like that. I remember it. Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, I remember.
I have a song called "Rest of You," which is the outro of Reflections. Is the last song. So I got 3. I'm gonna say "Sky High Crash," which is on For the Cage Birds as well. And I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna do 6. I'm gonna do "Can't" off of Reflections, and I'm gonna do "Chop It Up" off of Nothing Left to Say.
"Chop It Up" is really good.
Yeah,
I like that one.
I like that one a lot too. So those right there. That's my top 6.
Okay,
check those out.
Is there anything else you want to say before we get off of here? I know we're gonna have you back on here at some point, because what I plan to do is to check back in and see people's progress and see their growth. But in the meantime, is there any message you have out there to the people who's watching, to the people out there that's rocking Solo Dolo, trying to figure it out for themselves?
100. For anyone who's watching, first, I would think Chris agrees too. We very much appreciate you, like, sticking in, and just hoping for the best for everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. I'll definitely, you know, if you're following our journeys, we're both going to be putting out a lot of music. I know Chris does that all the time, so I'll be doing it too. Hopefully I got music dropping this year, an album that I'm working on my Instagram, GRE_music_. That's where I post all my content, all my music, like everything. So definitely follow me there. Yeah, and excited for what 2024 has to bring, like, as far as dropping music, creating content. Can't wait till y'all hear that song "Rose Gold" that I was talking about earlier. I gotta play you that song.
We gotta play some. Definitely.
Yeah, that's the one right now. But yeah, my message to the people: we love you. I love you. We miss you. Everything.
Facts.
Tied it back into the beginning.
Yep, that's dope. Full circle.
Yeah.
It's your boy Chris Hovers. You just rocked out Solo Dolo with me and GRE.
Yep. Peace.
That was dope.
Let's go.
Hey, yo, Chris, where you at? I'm in town.